great to see that so much of you are interested in our work. Actually, I was informed that we have registration from 36 countries involving 39 nationalities. So many thanks for joining us. Instead of having a formal opening statement, I decided to tell you a little story about 3 little islands. They were living for centuries in happiness and prosperity, peace. And unfortunately, at a certain point, an organized criminal group decided to exploit those little islands, and actually decided that they will operate a drug trafficking business from those 3 islands. Organized crime tries to spread the activities to different jurisdictions, to different islands. In these type of cases, Eurojust steps in and actually connects prosecutors from island A, B, and C. This is our role, to make sure that countries involved communicate, they exchange information, they share evidence, and they proceed in their investigation in a coordinated manner. So this is our role, and again, welcome to Eurojust and welcome to my world of judicial cooperation.
Now, coordination meeting is a thing which sounds a little bit simple. It is, in its idea, a simple thing, but it's very important. Because what it does, it actually brings people from all 3 countries to sit at the same table. And not just any people. It brings prosecutors from those countries to sit at the same room. And those prosecutors are backed and helped by the national members from Eurojust. Meaning that 3 countries are represented. 3 national members are there. We national members, as you have heard in the presentation, we know each other very well. So there is no problem in communicating amongst us. And we bring our own prosecutors to meet personally with prosecutors from country B and country C and start discussing the case. That is very important, although it seems like very trivial, because usually those 3 prosecutors speak different languages. Usually those prosecutors come from 3 different judicial cultures, judicial traditions, and things which have a very clear meaning in one jurisdiction don't always have the same clear meaning in other jurisdictions.
So one issue is to apprehend the person, but another is to send the case to the court and to provide enough evidence to the court. For example, I would say extradition issue. Ukraine is not extraditing our own citizens. So all this should be taken into consideration, and in this regard, Eurojust assistance is very important, because that's why we are here. We are practitioners, we are prosecutors, we are investigative judges who know not only like a book, not only the legislation itself, but we also know all these practical procedures.
Many of the national members are in direct contact with their ministries at home to discuss the need for additional legislation, for example, and to give them feedback how it's working in practice. And we also stay in touch with our perm reps in Brussels. And in that way, we could give influence from an operational point of view. And I think that's very good, because the politicians need to know how it works in practice, what tools we need, and so on.
You mentioned also digitalization and criminal justice, and there's a lot of potential for us as an organization in the future. We came up with a project a few years ago, and it was strongly supported by the ministers of justice, and things have been moving a lot. The coronavirus has actually highlighted the need to digitalize justice in general, but especially in cooperation with on judicial matters. And there will be a lot of IT development, tools that will ensure safe, secure exchange of information between prosecution services of the different national authorities.
We are striving to build a dynamic, agile workforce where people are motivated to take on new challenges, where people are open to change, and in an environment which is all about teamwork, all about cooperation. What do? Judicial cooperation. So in-house, we have to do the same, to cooperate. There is no job that can be done in isolation without you needing to rely on input from one person or a group.
You touched on the right word, cooperation. That's the crux of our work.